Hello there my friends, today we are going to create this animation using a simple method that anyone could create even using a mid PC specifications or maybe low specs too if you want to burn your GPU. I mean it's possible if you decreasing some of the settings. So I have done modeling this camera asset on my own. You guys could use any from your asset, or if you didn't have any, just hit my modeling video tutorial to make it. First thing you should do is to change the render engines from if to cycles and the device to GPU. Set the samples in viewport to 200 and the render samples to 250. Turn on the noise and change open image denoise to op6 because it's better using it for animation render. Scroll down to bottom and unfold color management. On there, change the view transform to filmic and look to medium contrast. You guys could experiment here with adjusting the exposure and gamma, but here is my preference. On top, on the format sections, I set the video to portrait, so I switch the top and the bottom resolutions. On the output panel, click on the right folder here to set the file render locations. Move to the world settings, just hit that red earth symbol there, and change the view to render and delete the world. Because this world is sucks, I mean seriously delete it. Now everything will be all in black, but it's okay guys, no worries. After all in place, move to the front view, then hide the asset for now. Hit Shift plus A to add new objects and search for camera. Move the camera away in Y-axis and add an empty plane axis. Resize the plane axis bigger so it's visible when we animate it later. Then, once again, add an empty but now it's cube. Unhide the assets in the layer panel and resize the empty once again. Select the camera, then click that camera icon on the right to change the view to camera view. While it's still selected, press G and click middle mouse button and drag the camera away. On the camera options, change the focal length to 80mm and adjust the camera positions once again. On the bottom panel here, turn on depth of field and set the empty plane axis as the focus object. To view the depth of field, just move the empty on Y-axis in material preview. This will save your time rather using render preview. In object mode, select the plane axis, the camera, and the empty cube as the last selected. Then press Ctrl plus P and set parent to object keep transform. Now let's begin to place the like. Hit Shift plus A and search for area like. Rotate the area like facing to the asset and place it on the left of the assets and scale it bigger. Hit Shift plus D to duplicate it and place it on the back facing the camera. Change the view to render to see the lighting result. Then on the light options, set the power to around 500 watt. You can decrease or increase it depend on your need. Also on the beam shape options, you can tweak the spread of the light too. So I rotate the left area light facing to the asset and duplicate, then place it on the right. Here I use standard 3-point lighting method. So the left is the key light and the back is the back light or rim light and the right is the fill light. Super simple guys. Okay, let's move to animate the assets. On the bottom here, you will see a timeline panel. It will show up by default while you open Blender. So let's make it bigger and set the frame to 1. Select the asset and hit K to add a keyframe, then select location and rotation. Now a yellow dot will be appear on the bottom timeline panel. Move the frame to around 40, then move the asset on Z-axis and rotate the asset freely by pressing R twice. Set the rotation to the best position that you want, then press K again and choose locations and rotations. Same as before, it's quite easy, isn't it? So now if you hitting spacebar, the asset will be animated. Back to the timeline and set the blue bar to frame 120. Select the keyframe on the frame 40 and hit Shift plus D to duplicate the keyframe. Drag and move the duplicated keyframe to frame 120. So now the jumping asset will be held on the sky in 80 frame. Then duplicate the first keyframe and place it to frame 160. So the asset will be jump and floating there, then back down. Here I slide the asset a little bit because I think it's not centered enough. On the corner right of the timeline, set the end frame to 180, then on the top right corner of your viewport, left click and drag to left to separate it to two. On the left top corner here, unfold this drop down arrow and change grab editor. Here we can see the animation data that we have created before. Then pick the blue line. The blue line means the animation data on y-axis of the asset. On the top mountain here, tweak some of the dot and make it up down like a hill or like our lefts. Now the result of the animation will be different. You could do the same as I did here, so I want the animation kinda like a jump, floating in the air, then fast drop down but with a smooth landing. Okay, now let's animate the camera. First, set the frame to 1, then select the empty box on the center. Hit K to add a keyframe, but now we will select location, rotation, and scale. Here we are just tracing the asset movement, so it's on the frame 40 before, and move the empty cube to top on y-axis following the assets. Again, hit K and set a keyframe. Here I just rotating the empty cube on z-axis, maybe around 27 degree. On the timeline, set the frame to 41 and add a keyframe there. Scale the empty cube to zoom the camera and rotate the empty too because I want to focus on the lens on this cut. Duplicate the keyframe on frame 41 and place it to frame 60. Set the frame to 61 and put a keyframe there. Rotate the empty once again, but now I want to focus on top on the dial. Scale and rotate until it's fill your desire, then don't forget to place a keyframe after you move the empty cube, because if you don't, the animation will not record it. Really important guys. Duplicate the frame 61 and place it to frame 80. Scale the empty cube to zoom in and then hit K to add a keyframe. Next, I want to focus on the side of the assets. So the methods are the same like before. Add a keyframe one frame further, then duplicate to hold the keyframe. On the last cut, I want to make the asset back like on the first cut, so I put a keyframe on frame 160, which is the end of the asset's animations, and set the camera as the first keyframe. Then carefully adding a keyframe before the landing time by scaling and rotating the empty cube. Next, we want to animate the focus of the camera. So first, place the frame to 1 and select the empty plane axis, which is our focus object. Move the axis slowly on y-axis to maintain the focus, then put a keyframe on frame 1. Like before, we're just tracing the animation that we have created. So in the frame 40, I set the axis away from the asset to make it blur. Then on the frame 60, I move the axis back to focus. So for the focus, we're just keyframing the locations. Other than that are unnecessary. I set the focus axis 5 frames backwards. Then on the frame 61 to frame 80, I put small blurriness, then focus on the dial. Again, on the frame 81 to frame 100 is the same method as before. And for the last cut, I just placing a small focus to the asset, just a small touch of axis movement. Now come the trickiest part, which is animating the light. Unfortunately, we should go to render view to see the lighting here. Set the keyframe for the area light and choose locations and rotations, because we will rotate it later. Move down the left area light on z-axis away from the assets. Same for the backlight, we move it to the top. And for the right light, down to z-axis, same as the left light. So now the render will be darker. Set the frame on the timeline to frame 40 and move the right light to top. Do this in all of the area light so the asset will be enlightened after it's fly to the sky. I adjust the position of them a little bit to create a smooth light bounce and also adjusting the keyframe too. For the second cut, I move to top a little for the right leg, then rotate the back leg and place it fit with the asset. For the left leg, I duplicate the keyframe on frame 30 to frame 41, and on the frame 60, I move down the leg facing to the asset. Same method goes to the right leg, up to down the area leg movement, and place a keyframe on frame 60. For the set view cut, I want to make the leg is like moving overlap each other. To make that, I make the left area leg move from top to down, and the right area leg move from down to top. inside the frame 81 to frame 100. For the backlight, I just rotate and place it fit on the back of the assets to make a bounce leg to the corner top of the assets. For the last cut, I just animate the area leg back to its position while the assets is landing. Okay, let's render time. For the rendering, I use PNG file first to make it fast. On the left top window, click render and pick render animations. It takes me 3 to 5 minutes to render the animations, then close the render window for now. On the top window bar, click that plus symbol there and pick video editing. On the sequencer panel here, click add and choose image or sequence. Then look the PNG file that we have rendered before. Select all of the PNG files, then on the right window here, set the start frame to 1 and the end frame to 108, which is literally the same as on the timeline. Lastly, click add image strip, and now we could see the animation result. But before we save this file as an MP4, please consider to subscribe to this channel because it's mean a support for me, and like, share, comment too if you had any question below. For rendering the video, move to render output settings and change the PNG format to FFmpeg video. Then on the output quality, change to perceptually lossless. On the container, change Matroska to MPEG/4 and then render the animations. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching until this far and see you in other creation.